Scott, what was you going to say before you got interrupted earlier anyway?
Hiya, boys.
If you do like our content... That's another clip right there.
She like a spicy meatball.
But yeah, okay, welcome back to Swans Cast, everyone. So a good 2-0 win tonight. Before we get into that, I'm sure everyone will be happy with the performance, but we'll do some housekeeping. So if you do like the stuff we are doing on the channel, please subscribe. It does help us out massively. Leave a like on the video as well, and any comments about if you agree or disagree with what we have to say on the performance. We've also made a Discord server, so I'll put the link into the video for that. Should be launching over the weekend. And yeah, follow our socials on Twitter and Facebook as well. Okay, so 2-0. We happy with that performance then? What are we saying?
Another solid defensive performance, isn't it?
It was solid in defence.
Woodman, great in goals. Gooey, Bennett, Norton, Roberts, Bidwell, all good.
Yeah, you're just going to say the rest of the team's good.
No, just the defenders, isn't it? Yeah. Give them credit where it's due.
Yeah.
No, they did. Yeah,
they did very well.
Solid.
Yeah, solid again.
Some big tackles in there as well.
Hey.
Scott, what was you going to say before you got interrupted earlier anyway?
Hiya, boys. No, boys. Okay. Just like Chris said, basically, like defense was like solid throughout the game. I think it's the most controlled game we've had or played, like for the majority of the season. I think we controlled it amazingly. I think the front people got back and defended great as well.
Yeah.
Fulton had an outstanding game. Like he is definitely like the top dog in that game. I think he was the Smith that we have been missing.
Top ends.
Top ends. I wish. But yeah, the most control game we've ever had, like defensively as well.
I think this one and the Cardiff game stand out to me this season as the two most complete performances. But this one, I know it's not the derby, but I would argue this is better just because they're top of the league. They've been the form team all year.
Easy? It was easy as well.
I think we made it look easy.
Yeah, it was a comfortable game. I was
Yeah.
the first 10 minutes of the game. Maybe they were like up for it. They were really pressing high. But I think after that, we were class. We were outstanding.
I didn't feel like they were going to score. There was one chance I think Pookie should have scored out of the first half. It was probably the only time I feel like they should have scored a goal. And to counteract that, I think Lowe then had his opportunity. So you'd say there's one missed each. But
you should have done that.
I thought he should maybe have done better. I think it was difficult. He chose to finesse it. I don't think that was on because he had to try and wrap his body around it. And he couldn't quite get around it enough for the pace the ball was moving forward. I think he should have just sort of like put his laces through it and gone near post or something. But
I think finesse would have been the right one. I think he just didn't. I think it was too close to the keeper's height when he was diving left, like kind of thing. If he put it a bit higher,
it could have been. But you know, this time it didn't result in us not getting what we deserved from the game because of his miss, like it did in the other leg. But you know, we let him off on that one. So Lee, what was your overview of the match?
Yeah, well, what can you say really? I think it's easier to sort of like dissect the game when they don't play well, but there's, you can't pick any holes in that performance. You said from front to back, it was almost perfect. Like you're talking about top of the league, they're not there as a fluke, are they? I know like they've got some bad form, but you're talking about a Norwich side who've come down and they haven't like really lost many players. I mean, they've still got some star players in there, Pookie and Cantwell. I know they were missing Buendia, but you know, that was just a complete performance this season. There's nothing you can say about it from all 11 men on the pitch. It was perfect for me.
You mentioned,
as I said in the last one,
go on.
No, I was just say we had like it's that sort of grit that we've never had before.
I know.
Like the Swansea of old, like playing the passing football was just we had all the ball and we were creating these chances and it was always like almost, you know, we should have won that game. We should, you know, and now we're just winning games. We're seeing the game out all the time, controlling it, and it's great to watch.
Yeah, I think what you said is right. Like the way I feel we play in, And the 2-0 is a bit of a meme, I know. But we're kind of getting that 2-goal cushion, and it's like I don't want to say we stopped trying. I think we turn into the team that's like, we looked better. We looked like the better team, looked like the better team trying to score more goals. We got to 2-0 and it was kind of like, not stop trying, but we transition into a counter-attacking team. So our style of play changes during the match. So we done, the way we were in the second half, when you look at the like I've got SofaScore up and they've got the momentum graph, and it looks like it was all Norwich, but watching the game, we were just allowing them to have the ball. They didn't really have any good opportunities, but we were counter-attacking, and we had some good counter-attacks where arguably we should have had a penalty. And it's like it's designed though, because even in those phases of play, when we're up the other end on the counter, if the counter breaks down a little bit to the point where the other team's got players back, we go into the corner and we just start passing it around in the corner, just keeping the ball up in the corner in their half when we're 2-0 up. And yeah, okay, if an opportunity comes, we'll try and take it, but there's not like the rush at that point, and we're just definitely more controlled. But it's interesting to see, because I think it's always been the thing with Swansea saying we never had a plan B, but we kind of see quite often plan A and plan B in the same game during a win when we haven't gone behind. It's like two plans in one.
It's rare to see plan C as well.
There is no plan C.
You don't often see that. I just want to say that
we don't need it.
Yeah,
I've got 3% battery on my phone, so if I go away, that's the reason. So
all right.
yeah.
Haven't you got a plug?
No, because my headphones are plugged into my phone and Apple.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
You know, the whole.
Well, I'm sure we've got 3% of battery left.
We'd like to thank
I'm sure we'll do it.
Apple for sponsoring us today.
Yeah, just a word from our sponsors.
And also, Lee, you said about them missing Buendia. I saw a stat the other day. Their points per game ratio without Buendia is about 0.8. Probably less now. So
what's it with it?
With him, it's about 2.5. It's quite high. Like, that's why they're top. But
that's a bit of a change then, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's the point.
But when you were talking about plan A and plan B, I think
and C.
Yeah, and C, but we never see C because Cooper doesn't make 4 changes in the game, so there's no C.
that is the one thing
C.
that frustrates.
People,
it
doesn't need to do it.
We'll get to that in a second with the subs. But yeah, what was you saying, Scott?
So when you said plan A and plan B was obviously take it to the corner, but this is the team to do it against. Like, I think we're more adventurous with, like, I'm not like belittling teams, but like teams that are lower down in the league, we would try
like
and play
Cardiff.
A bit more. Yeah, definitely like Cardiff, scum.
Yeah.
But yeah, today's game is that plan B. You take it to the corner, you keep it there as long as you can.
Yeah, but it's just like, I just find it fascinating how we like have that after. It's like the team's like, right, we're 2-0 up, so now we know the game plan changes and this is what we do now. And it's like they're all drilled over there, they all know that, and I don't think we've ever really seen that before.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not something that we've ever it's not something we've ever had. We've always been the passing side, the good, and we always concede from set pieces, and we haven't got a grit where we can see out a 1-0 or a 2-0.
Yeah.
But it's just like you said, we've got the plan A and the plan B. We can play football when we need to, get those goals, and then we're 2-0 up. We can sit back and dig in and see out the game. I just think it's all round, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, so we move on to the goals then. So we talked a little bit about Pookie having a chance, Low having a chance. The next really notable thing was the goal. First goal then, Andre Ayew. Very, very scrappy.
Isn't it?
Very scrappy, but you put the ball into the dangerous area from a corner, and the opposition's got to deal with it. I think the keeper had a bit of a flap of the ball, and a little bit of pinball in the box. And Ayew, even this finish was scruffy, but off the post and in the end, wasn't it? I don't know how it went through and went in, but to be honest, don't really care either.
No, you take it, then you take it and just go with it. But I think I was a critic with Ayew, like saying he hasn't done much in the past couple of games. I think this game he did well. He held up the ball really well. His goal was not class, but he got the goal that he needed. I think.
You say that goal was class?
Not class, mate. Sorry, I'm a bit drunk. Come on.
I think he means like. I mean, a lot of players maybe wouldn't have even got the luck to get that in, but he's in the right place, right time, and he's put it. At the end of the day, he's turned up. Like, it's gone in, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
We'll come on to the second goal in a minute, but if you're going to talk about class, the second goal is class, isn't it?
Well, there we are. You've been rinsed for your words in there, Scott.
I have.
Yeah, we've been a threat from corners and set pieces, and I know even before Hourihane corners, we have scored a few recently, and it's just, again, I think Nostin's Gylfi Sigurdsson was taking them under Paul Clement if we really looked like scoring from corners. Or, well, and we're even good at defending them as well at the moment, so just it goes back to what you said, Lee, about us being different from what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, it's totally different. Like, it's just something I've never experienced, like watching them, like over the years, just being that. I think we've become one of them like annoying championship sides where they're always sort of floating at the top and they just seem to grind out results. Like when we first got up to the championship, when you were playing these teams like Wolves and those sort of teams that are just always floating around at the top, and Norwich as well, sort of become one of those teams in the last sort of 2 years under Cooper. And it's just it's just great. On Ayew as well. Sorry, no, do you want to say something else?
No, go on. I was going
to say on the Ayew goal. I was with Scott on that because I remember last couple of games I've been thinking he's been quiet.
Yeah.
And I was thinking in this game as well, he's been a bit quiet, but he's always got that in him just to do something out of nothing.
Well, I think that's why Cooper has him in the team all the time, because he just knows that he can just turn up and that sort of quality shows. And I think a lot of if you watch like Norwich fans before the game and you ask them which player are they most worried about, they were all saying Andre Ayew. So like the rest of the championship, the fans, they even say when they play us that he's the one that they're watching out for. So we might think he's quiet, but like maybe the opposition looking at him, even when we think he's got a quiet game, maybe they see what he does a little bit more because
surely
we know
now
how
it's
high
going to
he
be
can
Hourihane though.
Well, as well, I wouldn't say instead of. I would just say extra threat.
It's mad that we've had him for 2 years in the championship, like a player of that caliber.
Yeah,
2 years in the championship, and you can see like when he celebrates as well, he does actually want to be here.
I think I said in the podcast that we did, like, he didn't have to stay, did he? He could have easily pushed for a move and gone. And I know he is on a lot of money, and you could easily say like he's only staying for the money, but is his performances someone that's just you to get a payday? I would say that it means a little bit more than just a payday, but yeah, I think, and we're all benefiting as a result, regardless what the motives are. So Tim Krul then, according to SofaScore, had a rating of 5.8, which was the lowest in the game. I would say a lot of that is down to his goalkeeping performance for this particular corner. Do you think he should have done better?
Oh yeah, he should have caught it, shouldn't he? Like, you can't make that mistake. I think, what was the score again, you said?
2-0.
No.
His score was 5.8.
I think it's a bit harsh on him. He did make some good saves in the game, to be honest, but yeah. It must be.
I think it's because it's like an error leads into a goal in it, so it significantly drops your rating.
I think he didn't even catch it, did he? He just needed to punch that.
He just needed to get someone on it, but he committed, I think, just made absolutely... I don't know if he jumped into someone, like one of his own players. Sort of... Someone's touched it down, haven't they? Because it's ended up in the box. Like, it hasn't gone straight over. So, I obviously, we haven't seen the highlights yet, and it's all in real time that we're talking about. But he made a mess of it.
Brentford fans would say that Bidwell probably elbowed the keeper again, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see a photo come out now saying with someone's elbow in his face. But speaking of that though, it's another game where we've benefited from a goalkeeper having a bit of a mare. But I guess if you're putting the balls into the dangerous area, then you're asking the questions, and you. Okay, the second goal then. So, Chris, you labelled it as a class finish. What would you say on it?
Good touch outside the box, nicely into the corner. Yeah, lovely goal.
Well, I actually went to go and get a drink because it was half time, wasn't it? So I was like, I didn't get one. I was like, I better go and get a drink quick. Come back and they've already scored. So I missed it. I saw the replay. But yeah.
You've had a mare.
I know. So if you two want to lead on the goal, then go for it.
Go on, Lee. You were a minute ahead of all of us.
I know. Sorry for the spoilers. Just a bit excited with that one going in. No, I think. Well, again, class from Hourihane. I was waiting for a Grimes goal just to match him like he's been doing. But no, like class strike is something that we haven't had for ages. Just a goal scoring midfielder. What's that? Three and four.
Yeah, and then Felton and Grimes been chipping in the last couple of games as well, so he's raised the sort of levels of the others. Grimes did have a shot in the first half from a corner again, sitting on the edge. Could be could be getting a couple more still. But yeah, Hourihane just 3. Did anyone think 3 and 3 when he signed? I know we were all expecting big things, but I think I specifically said. Yeah,
I took him out,
you did. You took him out and then you put him in your goal scorers list.
Because I was like, you know what? Maybe Swans cast are right. To be honest, I completely forgot about him.
Well, and because you were excited that Smith might have been back from injury.
I was like, Smith back.
But he didn't make it to the bench. But no. I actually said to you, didn't I, Lee, you and John, when we did the predictions the other day, I just can't see him scoring 3 and 3. It would just be like insane. And then he's gone and done it. But let's hope he gets 4 and 4.
He's lifted us to that next level, though, isn't he? Again, like that could turn out to be probably the signing of the season with bringing him in on loan. He's just taking us up that extra level again. Just for that push, I mean,
it could turn out to be win of the season. If you look back when we got promoted and we beat Norwich 3-0 at home. A lovely Fabio Borini free kick in that one.
That was a beauty. That was.
Who's the? Was it Thomas Priskin?
Mark Gower scored in that game.
Am I right in thinking Priskin scored?
Yeah. Priskin
and then he got sent back.
A few moments later.
It looks like we've lost Chris due to running out of battery on his phone, but we'll plod along. So we talked about the 2 goals. I think, like I said earlier, we kind of changed the way we were playing after that. We weren't necessarily looking to go on the front foot, but let them have the ball because we knew they had to come to us. Obviously comfortable, thinking they weren't going to break us down, especially without Buendia. And sort of transitioned into more of a counter-attacking style of play. And then when the opportunity was kind of closed, we'd keep the ball in their half. So we saw some nice one-touch football up in the corner. Really nice periods of play. I can't think of any notable Norwich chances in the second half. Is there any that I'm missing?
Maybe that. Who came on? The striker that came on, but he had a decent head-in chance, but he put it wide.
Ida, is it?
Ida, that's right. Ida. Yeah. He had a.
Maybe. Woodman did make 1 or 2 saves. Actually, he made a good one in the first half, I think, from a free kick.
Corner,
we did mention that, so we'll credit that one as well. But yeah, I think one big incident. Luckily, it didn't really matter in the end, but I really think we should have had a penalty.
No, we should have had 2 penalties. The first one, and then obviously Morris.
Yeah.
I think the commentator even said that he tripped over, and I was like, no, he bloody didn't.
No, they tangled legs. It was clear on the replay.
It's like Lee saying a couple of games ago there was a deflection goal. Come on now. Bring it up.
Well, he clarified his
maybe
incorrect.
I will apologise publicly that I was wrong, and it wasn't a deflection. So maybe with my vision, it's not the best one, but it was 100% a penalty.
I think I will say the first one I do think would have been given as a free kick just outside the box from when the contact was made. It was close, but I think I wouldn't have argued that. The second one I think was 100% a penalty. But what baffles me is the referee didn't blow for either. You got to give one or the other. If you're playing on the advantage, the first one, because he thinks it's outside the box, whatever. But you've got to blow for the second one then. How can you not blow for either? I just really don't get it.
Swansea teams,
and he seemed so trigger happy with blowing for a foul or a yellow card as well. I was just shocked. But
Well, do you
yeah, lucky.
Go on, leave it.
No, so I was going to say, luckily it didn't affect the result. But if they got the other end and it goes, 2-1, then it's a different game, isn't it? I mean, the officiating on this level sometimes is atrocious, but can't complain too much.
But then what's the solution? Bringing in VAR and then that asks different questions. So
no, to be honest, we'll have a couple of offside goals taken off us when
we'll score with an elbow to the face. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I guess maybe that's the leveling out of the elbow goal, but it didn't affect the result, so we'll take it all day. But Morris coming on then, he was the only substitute. I think he looked lively, to be honest. He looked promising. I think I would have brought him on a bit earlier. Jamal Lowe, he was okay. He didn't really do, it wasn't one of his best games. He was closing down well. He was running round, and that's what I mean. So I think he was a bit tired. And the way that we transitioned to, like I've mentioned several times, the more counter-attacking style, I think Morris would have... There was a couple of breaks where I was just thinking, if Morris was on now, like that's the kind of game you want him in. But he did come on 75 minutes, and I think he had some good touches, but it'd be nice to see a bit more of him. Whether he starts against Man City, I don't know.
He does look sharp. Off there. It's like what we've seen so far. I mean, he does right. I thought Ayew was like... I thought he picked up a knock in the first half, didn't he? And he was like holding his ankle.
Yeah.
And then I thought I saw in the second half he was signalling the bench to come off, but...
That was after his beastly tackle, and he was trying to argue for a corner, which I think actually, I agree that it was a corner. I think he got the ball. No? I think he got the ball.
I think he got the ball, but it didn't touch the Norwich defender on the way out, so I think it was a goal kick.
Oh, so, yeah, sorry, maybe not a corner, but I think they gave it as a foul, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. They gave it
that's what I meant, sorry. I meant, like, it wasn't a foul, But so Morris looked good. Who else was on the bench today? So we had Whittaker, obviously we didn't see him. And Freeman was there. Areola is, I believe, still out in America, from what I understand.
Freeman were missing as well, didn't we? So he's one to come in.
Oh, he was on the bench, Freeman.
Oh, was he? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he was.
Going back to Morris, though, I think, he looked really sharp when he came on, but I think... I don't know, maybe I was looking at a different game last game, but I thought he was sluggish when he came on the last game. But this game, he looked so much sharper, quicker on his feet.
Yeah.
I think he is a stocky guy, isn't he? He's quite well built.
Yeah, he's quite quick as well.
He has got.
I was surprised at that. I was surprised. He's got that like Shaqiri build, isn't he?
Yeah. He hasn't got the thighs and calves like him, isn't he? But
no.
I think he's
the days, Shaqiri.
He's a little bit more of a runner than Lowe as well, so I think it's like slightly different for our players to adapt to how he's going to play. Like I think you're saying like he was a bit sluggish in the Rotherham game. The one thing that stands out from, I don't think he hardly touched the ball in that game when he came on, but the one thing that stands out to me, he was making the runs, but the way Ayew plays where he likes to hold on a little bit longer, like maybe not realising running the same way as Ayew, he's probably not going to give you the ball because that's just what he does, and then he was kind of isolated just standing next to him out of the game, which isn't his fault, and maybe you say it's more Ayew's fault, but that's what Ayew does, unfortunately sometimes.
That's what I was thinking, like maybe Morrison and Lowe on the pitch at the same time, but I'm guessing they're too much of the similar player kind of thing. You can't really play them at the same time, but I'd love to see them try and link up.
Yeah, I think the idea is like one of them plays off Ayew.
Yeah.
But whatever works. I just would like to see him have a little bit longer, or not necessarily because we were sitting back again at that time in the game comfortably, but we were sitting back, so it's not much you can necessarily. You did nearly win a penalty though. Should have won a penalty. So.
I still think as well that one day, one random game, we're going to see him play like
wingers.
Not with the three at the back, with the wing backs. Yeah, I think he's gonna pull it out at somewhere.
You pull it out
the two signings coming in. Yeah, with maybe with Morris and Areola coming in. They're both they're two wingers. I think one day he's just gonna mix it up again. We're gonna be shocked when he plays.
That's what I'm thinking. Has Cooper give himself a bit of a headache on selection now because he's got many players. Yeah, like literally, you cannot change from the team that we're playing now, can you? You cannot because we're playing so well as that team.
How do you keep the new ones happy?
Yeah, the only things you can actually bring on are subs, and
he doesn't do that.
No, I know he doesn't do that.
So but
who would you change to bring on the new people? Like, you can't.
Yeah, but maybe that's it. Like because everyone says about him not making subs, like. Who do you bring on in that team just because they're doing so well? Maybe by him bringing in all these players at the starting 11 has just raised it again, and you can't change it.
Yeah, it's there to provide keep him on their toes in it. First half you've been great. Now we've got a couple of more boys. So if you do fall off, you will be out. So it makes them not fall off, hopefully. But when it comes to the subs, then look, we do mention it often. All Swans fans mention it often. And it's an easy one to say when you win, he's done the right thing, and when you lose, he hasn't done the right thing. But I think you've got to put it into perspective. And we have 15 wins, 8 draws, 4 losses. So more often than not, it's paid off. Whether like you say it was too close for comfort, or it would have helped to make a sub even when we've ended up winning. Maybe it could have gone the other way as well. No one knows what was going to happen after that sub's made, so you can't really criticise it. At the end of the day, he's managed us up to second in the league, and with a game in the hand over Norwich, we could overtake them, and obviously Brentford could go top. But it's working at the moment, what he's doing. It's just good to have them options if he needs them. And there was a period anyway, not so long ago, where he was making subs, but it just seems to fizzle out again at the moment, for whatever reason.
I think he prefers to. Just rotate the team, because I was surprised actually, because looking at the fixtures in February, there's like 7 fixtures in 4 weeks, isn't it? It's ridiculous. I think he prefers to sort of just rotate it at the start rather than change it in the middle of the game. But
maybe we will see a little bit more of rotation then in February if there's quite a lot going on.
There is loads. We got Man City, and then we've got Sheffield Wednesday, we've got Nottingham Forest, Huddersfield, Coventry, and Bristol City. And they're all in the space of like 5 days each, some even less.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
And,
I think
it is ridiculous.
He does rotate the centre backs quite a lot, doesn't he? And he rotates the midfielders. But obviously you've got Manning. Probably going to end up seeing some more of him. Roberts has basically played every single match this season, which is crazy.
He's going to have to change it. He's going to have to give Roberts a rest in February with all those games. He's going to have to.
I don't think he'll start against Man City.
He's going to have to play free.
They'll change up Man City.
You're not going to expect to win that game, are you, realistically?
No.
So I think where we are in the league, I'd happily make 11 changes and just... Is it who have we got in the league after then? Because I'd rather just focus... Like, I know where they are in the league, but it's still a tricky fixture. I'd rather focus on that, to be honest.
Because they beat Bournemouth.
Yeah, they did, exactly. So still, and they haven't had a manager for a while, and their form has picked up. So they're going to be hard. Like, they're in a bit of a false position, don't forget, as well, because of their deduction in points.
Yeah, they're 9 points. Then
yeah.
I think screw that. Like, I know, I know it's Man City and it's exciting, but the position we're in now in the league, let's just write that off.
We could be playing Man City twice next year.
Yeah,
exactly. As well, isn't
it? Yeah.
And really, I don't want to be sounding defeatist or pessimistic, but we know it's a very unlikely outcome for us to win that game. I don't think, we played so well last time as well. Can we do that twice? And they're in such good form at the moment as well. Is it like, do you risk playing out your skin, getting everyone to the point where they're absolutely knackered? It could go to extra time as well, can it?
Yeah.
So do you risk that, or do you just say, look, okay, I'll give the other boys a chance, and then you might come up with the goods, you never know, and prove why they should be in the starting team. And if they don't, they don't, and you still got the first team ready for the league.
Yeah.
I think the only downfall is we're not playing at the City ground, because then VAR would be in play, wouldn't it?
Well, we've got it installed in the Liberty, so it's
we just don't use it though, do they?
They installed it at the year we went down, because just in case we didn't go down, isn't
it? They tested it in the Lib though when they were looking at bringing it into the Premier League. The Lib was one of the grounds they tested it in.
Yeah.
And then as we went down then that year, they didn't have the VAR.
I just don't get the rules.
Man City game.
It's not consistent as
well,
it is. Go on.
Surely is to protect the big boys though, just to have it in Premier League grounds.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I just think it's either because not all the grounds have got it, and that's fair enough. Because some of the ones, the lower league clubs, they can't afford. They've got to pay for it themselves, don't they? So you either get the Football League pays for it everywhere and installs it everywhere and runs it, or you have a system where every club that's got it uses it, and every club that doesn't for the reasons of the fact they don't have it, or no one has it. That's the only option, surely, not just Premier League or nothing.
Yeah,
that just doesn't make sense.
I didn't know that the clubs had to pay for it themselves. I didn't realise.
I believe that is like not even all the clubs in the Championship have it, do they?
I did but surely it's not much extra expense for say the FA to pay for it in the
cup. But I think it's a case of if you go to the Prem might pay for it because it's a requirement of the league, or you might have to do it to be in there. I'm not sure, but obviously in the Championship, if you won it, you don't have to have it for the Championship. So or League One or League Two. So it's probably not in the league's interest to pay for the clubs to have it, because it's not in their rules, so it's not going to be used anyway in the league, so why would they give them the money to do it? That's probably what it is.
Yeah, I just think...
Yeah, I was going to say that then. Like, imagine you went up to the Premier League and refused to pay.
Yeah. I think the Premier
No,
League
no.
probably install it for you because it's a requirement,
Yeah.
isn't it? But I don't think if you want it anywhere else.
But they just watch it back from
A van.
St George's Park, don't they? From a van. So if a game's on TV, like for example, the Cheltenham played Man City, didn't they? Why couldn't they use the I think it was on BBC, wasn't it? So why couldn't they use that coverage?
Yeah, I don't really get what it is. Why it's so this what technology is it? They're just looking at replays. Maybe I'm being naive and we just don't know and they're not informed. But from what they show us, I know you draw lines on and stuff, but I would rather the TMO system from rugby.
Get a ruler out.
But but like the Sky coverage for years, they've done is he offside? And they put the line in.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can see he's offside. So it's just they could just use that coverage, couldn't they? To just be he's offside.
Maybe they have invested in some sort of technology that they use and we don't know about, but it just feels to me outdated before it's even come. Like they could have done so much better. You've got things like Hawkeye in tennis and stuff in cricket for the thing before the wicket and stuff like that. And TMO in rugby just works so much more seamless in the background, and it's stopped when it's needed to be stopped. Why couldn't they have just implemented something like that? But yeah, I think VAR is a topic maybe we can revisit in another podcast.
Yeah.
But I think
get John on you. John's a vocal person. Let's get him on here about VAR.
Yeah, I'm sure John would love to be involved. But before we finish, then let's just have a look back at what our predictions were of the game. So Chris has obviously left. Chris is gone, but he put 2-0. Let me just remind myself of who he put goal scorers. Do you remember?
Geehee and Grimes, I think, was it?
Yeah, so Chris put 2-0 Grimes and Geehee. So you've got the result correct, the score correct, but not the goal scorer. So another good 5 points for him there. And Scott, you've gone 2-0 Lowen Hourihane. So another 5 points plus a goal scorer, so 8 points up for you. So obviously, I'll get the league table on while we're talking about this, so you can see who.
I think it's bottom, wouldn't I?
You can see who the ultimate prediction pundit is here. Lee, what did you say? Can you remember?
Was it 2-1, I think, did he?
You did. You said 2-1 win, Hourihane and Grimes. So you got the correct result, 2 points, and a goal scorer, so 5 points for you in total. I went with 2-1 win, Ayew and Cabango. Cabango didn't even play, but again, 5 points for me on that one. And John did. John is the boo boy today, so give John the grief in the comments. He's not here to defend himself either, so just pile it on. He went for draw, 1-1.
No, he didn't.
But he did get the goal scorer, he said Hourihane. So everyone was saying 3-3 except me. You were? Deduct points.
Yeah,
I think.
How dare you? He's like Lee. 0-0.
Do it for this one, but don't deduct me for 0-0.
No, that's fine. Just do it to John.
So, well, John gets 5 points as well. So I'll do the table. You'll be able to see it on the screen if you're watching. I've not done it yet myself to tell you who's top. But yeah, looking good so far. We've all had some good results and good predictions there. Who's the man of the match then?
Who's going? I'll go. Okay. Jay Fulton.
You go first.
Oh, shut up, Lee. No, Jay Fulton, definitely. Like I said at the start, he was. Yeah, he was the Smith that we needed. He got an assist. He tried his little... I don't know, he just loves doing the little skill passes all the time, doesn't he? He loves pulling them off.
He loves a little bit of flair.
He does. Yeah, to be honest. He is a flair player. I know he's like an angry Scotsman that loves to give a yellow card and puts in a hard tackle.
I'm sure he put a massive tackle in the first half as well.
He does, yeah.
He loves a massive tackle. Lee, man of the match?
Yeah, I can't let pass Fulton, to be honest. His class, like you said, he loves a big challenge, but then he has got that touch of class, that Scottish Iniesta. Just tends to pull out that little back heel or flick or something. He's just, again, class.
I'm not gonna. Well, I agree with you both, but I'm not gonna agree with you because you both said the same thing, and I want to say something different. I'm going to go with... Do you know what? I think Kyle Norton deserves a lot of credit because he had so much stick after that red card.
Yeah.
No one wanted him to come in today. There was a lot of things going on Twitter, and I know a lot of people have posted stuff like this. You know, it's all heat of the moment and shouldn't take it to heart or whatever. But saying they never want to see him in a Swans shirt again and stuff like that. But he's come back in, he put in a solid performance, and I think he was strong at the back to his normal self, back to being consistent and experienced and reliable. So I'm going to give him a shout out. I think today for mine. I think definitely worth.
Yeah, spot on. He definitely deserves a shot, and he was quality today. He was good.
Yeah, why do people keep doubting Steve Cooper and his selections now then? Like, I'm going to just go with it now. I don't care if he makes subs anymore. I'm just going to be like, Steve Cooper, you know what you're doing.
Go back to last year, just I can't believe, like, this time, there's so many people Cooper out last year. We made progress on the year before, and it was still Cooper out, and now they were like, oh, it's all going to unravel. It's just got better. Like, I just don't really get where they come from.
The way that we play, in the sense that, like we said, we can sort of turn it on and play football in spells and then drop back and dig in. And then it's so easy to criticise when you don't win a game. You can just say, like, oh, we didn't do anything. He didn't make subs. It's just so easy to criticise when they don't win a game. But now this year, they've just consistently got results. It's just, did you see what he's doing now?
Yeah, and the board come out saying that they're looking to tie him down to a long-term deal. Probably not to the end of the season.
They've got to do that. They've got to do that.
Was there talks of Bournemouth coming in for him?
We've been lucky.
That was a tweet by a spoof account. So let's,
right, okay.
So we'll be moving on to the next video. We'll try and get something out before Man City if we can. We've got a Six Nations one coming out probably after this one. Not sure when exactly, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, we'll leave the link to our new Discord in the description below, as well as the social media, and subscribe if you did enjoy what we're doing to keep up to date with all the latest videos, and leave a like as well to see more of Scott's Cabango face. And on that note, cheers Lee, cheers Scott, and shall see you all later.
Cheers,
good
guys.
one.
Cheers, lads. See you soon.
It's good.
You can tell I get excited now. I've had a beer.
Gonna have to keep it up after lockdown, but hopefully I guess we can do more of them in person after lockdown. So.
I'm bouncing. Have your head button Scotland screen off, man.
It'd be good if we can do some.
Oh, I'm done.
Yeah, it would be good if we can do some proper ones in person after lockdown.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.